Alright, today we're going to be turning the boost up on the truck a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. I mean, just like 3 or 4 pounds, which in our case will actually be doubling the boost. So right now the truck has a super basic setup. It's just on wastegate pressure. Let me show you on the RX-7 because they have the same wastegate. So right now I've only got a vacuum line going to this bottom port, which is, once that gets pressurized, that's what opens the gates or helps open the gate and gate some of the waste. What I'm going to do is tee into that and put some pressure to the top to help hold it shut a little bit longer. It's a little bit of a cheat, but it's a pretty super common way to do it. So plastic fittings, this one I think. This one looks about right. And something I didn't think to mention in the last video is this is kind of a good showcase for how well this wastegate actually flows, that it was able to keep it down to 3 or 4 pounds of boost. It is only a 44 millimeter wastegate, but just the placement of it, it seems to work out really well because I did take it up to a little over 6,000 RPM and there wasn't any boost creep. It stayed nice and flat, so that's awesome. So right here is my line to the wastegate, and first of all, yes, I know that this is absolutely not the preferred way to do it. I should drill and tap a little thing here at the compressor housing so that it's getting like the perfect signal for it, but I just had that available. Eventually I am going to drill out one of these ports and run a line right from there. That way it's a very non-diminished kind of signal. I'm sure there's some sort of pressure drop between the two, especially after the intercool and everything. So basically all I'm going to do is, I've got some slack down here because I knew that I was going to be doing this and I wanted the extra length. Wink wink. So I'm going to cut this, basically just tee this in here and then just run another line right to the top of it. And we should be making, at that point, around 8 or 9 pounds of boost. And then, like I said, once I get the new spring in, because I do have another spring coming in, it's supposed to be a 12-pound spring, I'll probably just run that one for a little bit. And I'll put a little bleed valve in line to help kind of regulate where it's at. That way we're not going straight from 12 to like 20 pounds of boost. So let me get this all chopped up and situated, and then we'll take the truck out and see what she do. Took all of 2 minutes right there. Basically I just pulled it off the bottom port, pulled the length that I need, cut off all the extra, and then just use the extra to go to the T. Super simple. Now I should point out that this is not the correct way to do this. The correct way would be to run some sort of boost controller in line here, whether it's like a Mac valve or something, or just like a manual little dial boost controller. But this should be low enough boost to where doubling it is still relatively safe. We've got like no timing in the truck, we're on E85. So I'm going to fire the truck up, let it warm up for a second, and then we'll take it out and see what it does. So the truck had like, when you'd first get into, like you're just cruising and then you just floor it, it had a really fat spot that I tried to like manually smooth out. And I'm hoping I did that. But the truck definitely seemed to start a little bit rougher, you know what I mean? After that change. We will see. And I do have an exhaust leak. The driver's side manifold, I don't know if it's warped or if the gasket's just bad or something, but you can see where it's blowing past it a bunch, like right at the head. So that's definitely something that will get addressed at some point. I might just have to get another manifold or try to like machine that one smooth. I still haven't fixed that blinker. So let's drop it down to third. Make a rip. Whoa! Whoa! It still has that real fat spot, but man, she started to do some dancing there. Once we get up on the straight again, I'll get into it some more. Alright, 65, 70. God damn. This thing fucking moves, dude. And on that one, I got a real good, because I like rolled into it and it didn't downshift, so I can see exactly where it comes into boost. Alright, turning around here. This thing's so fast, dude. Oh, there we go. Cruising at 50 right now. Crept up to 55. Tires. I was watching the boost gauge, not the AFR gauge. I think we might have been a little lean on that one, like in the 13s. So I'm gonna make one more pull and try to watch that a little bit more. But dude, this thing is ripping. I still think we're only at about 8 pounds of boost right now, though. Alright, I don't think that's a cop in front of me. No, definitely not a cop. Alright. I'll wait for him to pass, though. No, we're good on the AFRs. So it needs to be cleaned up, but we're good. Sweet, 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 sweet. Let's get back to the garage and look over the data log, see what kind of boost we were making and what kind of RPMs and shit we were turning, because I've only been watching these two gauges. And this one's not the most accurate boost gauge. That's just a cheap eBay gauge. The thing that's really going to tell the tale is the data log over here. That's not going to lie. And I want to make sure that our spark table should only be at 13 degrees, but I just want to make sure. Let the neighbors know what's up. You're living next to a bad motherfucker, Bill. Man, this truck's so much fun, dude. It's doing that weird 2-3 shift thing again. I think that's just, we might have to switch to a turbo 400 transmission this year. We're gonna roll with this one for as long as it'll handle it, but I think we're gonna have to step up the transmission. And the truck just turned off. Let me kill the data log. This thing has just been plagued by transmission issues. Woo! Woo, woo. Alright, so it could just be the header wrap, actually. So I'm kind of thinking right now, without being able to like really look under it, I think that one of the transmission lines might be slightly weeping, and it could be on the header wrap, which is totally fine. I mean, ATF is definitely not flammable, so I'm just not going to worry about it, I guess. That's a joke. That's an obvious joke. I want to redo the transmission lines. I want to get a new transmission cooler just for peace of mind, like one of the 40K True Cools or whatever, and get nice sealed transmission lines. Because right now I just have them, they're not as good as they could be. Oh, let me see if I can show you the exhaust leak that I found just a few minutes ago. Bear with me, don't get seasick. So you can see right there where it's just blowing out, and it's like that on at least 3 of them for sure, maybe all 4. So while the truck is super close, there's obviously still things that need to be addressed, like the exhaust leak. I need to get a better clamp on the intercooler piping over there. I have one that's obviously working, but I'd like to get one that's a little more I don't have to worry about it. For now, I think I'm gonna leave the boost here. Like even when the spring does show up, I think I'm gonna roll with this for probably a good little while. And I might turn it back down to where it was once the track's open, so I can get like baselines, and like we're starting here, it runs, even if it's like 13.7, at least then we'll know. And then with this one, it could be hard to say, because I think that the way it is now, it might be mid 12s, mid to low 12s. But again, I don't know, because a lot of that was just tire spin. Like you could see it a couple times. Well, I don't know if you guys could see the steering wheel at all, but I was having to drive it briefly. Let's look at the data log, see where we were at. We saw 188, I think, is the highest KPA. All right, so let me go to this unit converter. I've got pressure right there. 83, we'll call it. Okay, so we did see 12 pounds of boost there. All right, that's fun. That is fun. Wow, that's a ripper, dude. Well, that explains that. And how fast did we get up to? 120, allegedly. All right, so I think in the next couple days, I'm probably going to take the truck over, get it on the lift, and just give everything a good once over. Like I said, probably check and tweak the transmission lines, because I really don't want to burn the truck down. I would like to take it to the track at least a couple times before we completely destroy the thing. No, I think the truck's doing great, man. I've got a smile from ear to ear. I love this thing so much. It is incredibly fun to drive. This truck, it's funny how much this truck has changed. Just earlier I was watching some old footage because I needed to find a burnout clip to send to Old Car Auto Guy for his 400th video. Definitely go check that out. But I was looking at some old footage, and I was watching my video called saying goodbye to my supercharged street truck or something like that. And like the first 5 minutes is just like the entire history of the truck since I've had it. And like every time I watch that, it almost makes me cry a little bit, just because like this truck has changed so much in the time I've had it. And I think I've had it like 3 or 3.5 years, and I paid $1,200 for it. And it was a bone stock, like volunteer firefighter's truck. It had the lights on the front bumper, and that's why there's some holes in the dash, because he had switches and stuff on there for other lights. This thing has changed so much. I definitely think you guys should go back and watch some of the older videos with it. I have a whole playlist dedicated to it, but I'm so happy with this truck, man. This truck doesn't owe me a dime. So I think that's going to do it for today's video. The camera's telling me it's about to die, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Definitely stay tuned for all the other stuff we got going on. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.